Hey everybody, look who I've got with me.
Hey guys.
We were going to go live with Steve Borno and we're going to have to actually just reschedule with him. So he
Yeah. We hope to. Is it Bordeaux?
Yeah. So if you were to
Steve, why was I thinking your name was Bordeaux? We can't wait to
now you got me
to interview.
questioning. You have to look it up. I think it might be
Yeah.
Steve Borno. Anyway, so if you were joining us to watch his interview today, we'll be rescheduling him. So watch for that.
We'll get him back. But oh man, every time I can't see the names. Let me go into mine. Hi, you guys.
There's Andy, and we can invite any on.
Hi, Andy.
If any of you guys want to join our lives,
girl.
since today it's going to be a little bit different, and that we're gonna,
Yeah, we're just hanging with you guys.
talking
tonight.
with you guys. If you want to join us and talk a little bit, leave a comment, and I'll send you an invite. But today's going to be just a little bit of a different live.
Just hanging out.
Just talking with you guys.
I haven't. Man, how long has it been? I haven't seen you, and I haven't been on with Rex for weeks.
Yeah.
Weeks. And it's so good to be back. Let me find our account so I can see what you guys are saying.
So G Tracy joining you in August.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I think
I look forward to that.
I'm pretty sure he's got Parkinson's, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right? So we've got him scheduled and looking forward to talking.
We're so blessed by all of you. We always look forward to talking to you. Let me go in. Here we are.
What is it that you're looking for?
I have to look at my screen because I can't see, even with these glasses.
Oh, really? Okay.
So we're just gonna hang out with you. And
yeah, Parkinson's. Yep. So he's
wow.
got Parkinson's.
My respect. My respect.
So, if you,
I was gonna say as we go through the, Rex usually kind of sees, or he does the scheduling, but then he'll print the pages off for me, and I get to see who we've talked to so far and who we get to talk to, and he makes sure to have as much information about you as possible on there, and I'm always just in awe of all of you and what you are battling daily, hourly, sometimes minute to minute. We're so blessed. I think we have the best. I don't know what to. It's just such a joy. I was gonna say job and then hobby, and nothing really fits it. But we're doing better than the last 5 weeks have been.
Yeah,
I would say it's been.
Yeah, it's been a hard period of time, and it just reminds me of when as we're following you, people just continue to struggle, right? And
yeah,
it's sometimes hard because you feel hopeless or not hopeless, helpless to know what to do to help and
helpless because there's still a lot of people that feel hopeless.
Yeah.
I love that you put that information down. Anyone that's coming in here, if you're new or not, put that on your calendar because these, I say this every time and I genuinely mean it. These are the best people that will enrich your life and bless it more than you can know. So just mark August 4th, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time.
If you're not already following him.
Yeah, yes, support each other for sure. What we've been seeing, so when we started this, what month are we in? May. Just about a year ago, we were seeing a lot of absent things that were just absent in the community, the chronic community. Just not enough of a whole lot of things, and that still remains. But then, we kind of see these waves of really, really great support and more people kind of stepping into themselves and becoming brave and showing themselves and their problems and their diagnoses and their lives, and even how those problems turn into blessings. And we've seen but then, we've all seen the comments, which we don't welcome here, the bullying comments, or the we don't welcome here, not even slightly. So we hope you feel safe here. But what we've seen more recently, which is alarming, at least because when I'm in bed, not able to get out of bed for hours or sometimes days, I'm still constantly watching and reaching out to a lot of you, checking out your accounts, trying to get personal messages to you. And if you haven't gotten one yet, it's coming. It's just a matter of time. I'm trying to always check on you, but it's what's alarming is in the community itself. I've seen some turning on each other in our own chronic pain community, or chronic, whatever we're suffering, or trying to compare. Or demanding proof, or I don't know whose post I just seen today she did a beautiful job explaining all of that. But I echo what she said, in that you don't owe anything to anyone, nor should you give any personal information, especially when you're dealing with a diagnosis and a lot of doctors, and the more you have, the more you have, and you know what I mean. That needs to be. We really promote privacy, and we can do that at the same time while being public. But it's what we're striving to do, and what we see in the future for A Spoonful of Sugar is exactly the opposite. If we're not helping each other in this community, we cannot show the world how to do it right. And it's alarming that, and comparisons shouldn't happen between any human being. When we get really down to it, suffering, when we first started, as a nonprofit, we were kind of pushing the chronic pain, because that's kind of where what I fall into. But I just told Rex I refuse to stop there, because, Rex has his stuff, and we have so many people in our circle of life, and now you guys, our family, that have so many different things. And if you just think through it for 2 minutes, you realize every human being is going to suffer. And so that's where this really all inclusion kind of happens, and why we're really set on interviewing all types of
backgrounds and situations.
and pain and suffering, and so much of it is mental, and so much of it is emotional, and so much of it is physical, and quite honestly, if you have any of those, it usually affects the rest of it, right? So the comparison thing has got to stop. The demanding of proof. Now that's different if you truly feel like someone's got an account that's just we've seen a couple that are alarming in that something seems off, and they're collecting money for themselves, and that's different. That's much different, and that is, I would say, 1% of we don't, that, at least me, I haven't ever, when I go into your accounts and I just feel of your genuine self, and even your generosity to open yourself up, that's a gift to everyone. And so I don't want, no matter what you're going through, don't let someone stop you because they're having a moment as well. If it's somebody that just continues, block them. But honestly, here, the way I think about it is if somebody says something that seems a little bit off, or if I look at Rex, because I cannot think, my brain has suffered, I think, the pain and meds through the years. I'm getting dumber and dumber by the year.
Just Existent says, hello, glad I could catch you both live. I hope you're having a decent day.
We're so happy to have all of you. Yeah, I'm just gonna, so what was I trying to say?
Basically, tell people to behave. Or wrap it up in a nutshell. Behave, you guys.
Oh, because what I've seen on the flip side too is that people are afraid to come in, and we've got to stop being that way as a community. We need to stop being so quick to bark at them when somebody is simply asking a question and they don't understand, and maybe they don't know how to ask it. So I've kind of adopted the idea of it's just communicate. Say, maybe did you mean to ask this? Or just very simply ask someone, are you genuine? And sometimes when Rex and I are talking to somebody, you guys get to talk to each other, and so treat each other well. Ask someone. I've seen people get blocked in other people's lives for the most basic, innocent. I feel horrible for them. And it's the same thing, the same idea as somebody looking at you and just trying to kind of figure out, why you might have a tube, or why you might have, and I know that some people might even get angry at me for feeling this way, but we don't have an excuse to be rude back. I've been stared at so much because my CRPS is in my face and head, and so my body reacts with fever and swelling. And I've had people look at me, and I just do not mind at all. And if they even, if they asked me something, I would just have a conversation with them. I don't, we're just too hard on people, I feel like. And that pushes them away and makes them afraid to approach us, makes them afraid to even try to support us. They don't know how. And if they're getting barked at or bitten, or blocked, that's very, very confusing. And we have to do better. We have to do better for each other, and we have to do better by other people that are just curious. And we're doing so well with getting information out there. People, you guys are just so talented and so brave. It astounds me. And so we keep doing that, but show grace as the world, because I've told Rex, I truly believe this. I think even mental illnesses are being more accepted, even though we have a long way to go with that. I think the most misunderstood and not talked about, I think because people are afraid on both sides, is the chronic pain community. And a lot of that has to do with, it's such a complicated thing, and then you're talking about medications, and then you're talking about, are they addicted or not, and then you're talking about, well, how do we gauge who has an addiction that's a true addict, and who's somebody that's truly suffering, that's now being under medicated because we need to stop the addiction. And it goes and goes and goes. And I think that is the most, I think, feared place to go. And we have to be brave, and we have to be brave. And this is, I think, what set me, and I don't want to trigger anyone, and so I'll be careful with how much information I share right now. And I'll put out a proper video about all that I've gone through the past 5-6 weeks. And you guys know that I pretty much cry every single live I'm on. But you guys mean so much to me. And we've had people in here say in the middle of a live, just like, I need help. And like, I'm really going downhill mentally quickly. And I could relate to just about anything as far as, the chronic community. Except for suicidal thoughts. I've always had I've been very, very humbly blessed with the knowledge that I'm I'm very, very Christian, and so I believe that I'm in His hands, and there's a reason. And I've always told Rex, I don't need to know the reason. I just don't need that right now. And so here I am thinking I'm pretty safe from that, right? Boy, was I wrong. Whatever had me in his grips had me convinced that that you guys deserved better than me, and that I would actually hurt you guys, and I think this is really happening a lot, where we're questioning our own worth to a very dangerous level, and we're already exhausted, right? And we're physically and mentally spent, and so the thoughts of your worth can tank, and it's alarming at how quickly that can happen. So the past 5 weeks has been, and then I would get in a dangerous place that I'd actually kind of have a plan. And I can't even believe I'm saying this. But you know what? It needs to be said. it taught me that no one should just feel like they're exempt. I think especially nowadays when we're ruthless, we are ruthless human beings on each other. On the flip side, we're the most generous kind that I've never seen such a black and white. And those who are ruthless are in pain. I don't want you to forget that. They're in pain and they don't know how to handle it. And sometimes they're so much in pain that they want to share their pain and cause more pain. Mm-hmm. And so we just, I am more resolved to just showing love, killing, the old saying, killing with kindness has to be what we live by. And because we're suffering, we don't get a pass. We don't get to say, we don't get to bark at somebody because we're suffering, and that's the truth. We just don't. And I think it's part of the reason why I hold you all as with such high esteem, because you don't get a pass. You have this heavy yoke on you, and you still need to live your best, just like every other human. No different than somebody who has experienced health their whole life, and they're 70 and they're just, they've kind of sailed through life compared to the health you have, or someone that has more money and they can pay to get the care that they need, or we could go on and on. We don't get that pass. And quite frankly, I think because of what you've traveled through, and what you've been asked to go through, the compassion that you have is what this world needs. And so, because our lives have been kind of, the best way I can say it for somebody that doesn't understand is screech, just like screech, and then your life kind of goes in slow motion. That's how I feel. I don't know if any of you agree, and I'm trying to look at both screens. And hello for anybody who's joining. I get talky. I haven't seen you guys for so long, but
Andy's Journey says, glad to see you guys live. Need this right now.
Oh, Andy, if you guys don't know Andy, I don't know where you've been if you don't know Andy. Andy, I just watched your latest, and girl, every time if you're still in here, give me a sign. I don't know why my things, she breaks my heart and both lifts me and makes me smile in a span of like 15 minutes of going through her, and that's so often how all of you are for me. And there's not a single bit of me that exaggerates even a little. I tell Rex, specifically with you, Andy, if you're still in here, I was like, Rex, she needs to live with us. And he's like, well, you don't get out of bed at the time. So Rex is like, and he was honestly on board if we could do it. And I was like, wait, our home has 3 levels. And I'm like, I start thinking about the logistics of it, and I'm like, I don't think Andy would like us if she lived here. She would, but other than all the laughs we'd have, But I genuinely, that's how much I care about you guys. I wish I could just
take care.
I wish we could, and someday, and I'm not going to give up on that dream. The fundraising that we want to do as a nonprofit is mostly just to do little small things and send things. How many of you get something in the mail that actually is positive, or just to say I love you, or I'm thinking of you, or something fun to open? Probably not a lot. And I would say the opposite. We're probably usually getting bills or insurance denials, or like the rest of the world, endless credit card offers. And so that's our main goal, is to just get as many. Some of it, I'm working on my own artwork, and it's, you guys have blessed me greatly, because you've brought me back to my desk and doing art after years. And I don't know if any of you have noticed our logo. I'll tell you something about that logo. That logo was in my head for a few months. And I kept telling Rex, it's in my head, I just need to get it down. I need to get it down. And so one night I just felt a strong prompting. You just need to go sit down and get it down. And so I was in pain. It was in the middle of the night. Often I'm awake during the night. I'm sure like a lot of you. Andy, what does she say?
So Just Existence says, all of you from the chronic illness community are so inspiring, and I admire all of you in all your strength.
That was very, very kind.
Thank you.
We need more of you. We need more of you. We just made sure and followed you. And then please follow each other.
No, we're already friend. Recently friend. And then Andy says, I honestly wish I was with you both so much, hurting so much.
I would. I was even telling Rex and Andy, some people are into oils and some aren't. And I happen to believe in both, kind of the Eastern, Western medicine. Mm-hmm. Both have their place. That's what I believe. And a lot of times I show my love by thinking, because I've been personally, and I have no problem saying who we genuinely and personally love, and that's no disrespect to any other company. And honestly, sometimes I think an oil is an oil, but we have just loved Young Living for 24 years. A long time. And so I have a brilliant family that's much, much smarter than me, that's taught me a lot, and me reading about the oils and all that. So what I tend to do is, and I have before for people, if I know they're hurting, I'll make something. I'll mix a bottle of oils and get it prepared for them, and with very, very safely, by the way. But I was telling Rex, Sandy, like, I've already got in my mind what might help her poor wounds, because this girl, I mean, I don't like to use the word warrior like a lot, because it's used a lot, and I don't use it lightly now. Andy is one.
Oh, she is a very strong warrior. Battles like on the front lines. Yeah.
But I almost feel like I wanted to put her in this absolutely pure, pure clean air room with oils going through the air. And then, I have an amazing, or I say have whether people are passed on or not, because I feel, and I talk to them all the time. And sometimes I'm closer to them after they pass than I was in life. So I have an amazing grandma who has done some amazing things even before we had distilled oils, and she'd make poultices and has, you know, healed and helped a lot of people that way. And so maybe that's part of where my love for it comes from. But Andy, and Andy's probably like, oh, it's probably good I didn't come, you know. but that's just how much love we have for you.
So we have Just Existent that says, thank you. I'm glad that there are people bringing awareness to all sides of chronic pain, illness. You're all such blessings to. You're all such blessings to so many people.
You as well. Thank you.
And then Andy says, thank you. I honestly would try anything.
Yeah.
I'm at a loss because no pain meds work anymore. Love you.
I believe you. And this is why I say you break my heart. You know. Yeah. Andy's somebody who she's kind of got this double-edged sword because so much is invisible, although she has very visible. And oftentimes I think Andy and a lot of you feel like because of how you're treated, you need to show people, like, I'm proving, look at these wounds. And it always takes my breath away to see, just to see some of what you suffer, Andy. And that's just the part that we see. And I know it goes so many layers deeper than that. And it's not just about physical pain, it's mental pain, and it's trauma for many reasons. And, you know, what I know about Andy is it's deep. It's really deep in probably every respect. And so many of you, it is that way. And so we I don't know where you're going to say something.
Yeah, I was going to just say all of what she's talking about. You know, it.
Can I go there right there?
Yeah, it really makes me think about how important the idea of spoonful of sugar, you know, why that matters in the chronic pain community, because there are going to be moments where you have a little bit of an exhilaration because you've just connected with someone that you know, after you felt isolated, or you didn't think that there was a community, or you've developed some friends, or you've just watched a dance, or you feel good enough to do a dance. You know, there's varying level. There's those moments of, you know, higher energy and things like that, and not just with us, but, you know, just in general, just because we're human. That's attractive, right? That draws people, and they want to be a part of it, right? They want to be around that and things like that. Well, life after the honeymoon stage, even for people that aren't in chronic pain, is going to happen, right? You're gonna have the bills that need to be paid. You're gonna have the moments when you're feeling down and you're not, you know, maybe you're having some negative thoughts, or you're, you know, we can go on. And then you add on top of that just the suffering and the different things that people in the chronic pain are going through. And when we get like that, and then when we're around each other, it's really easy to be like, oh, you know what, I've got my own pain, and so I don't need more of that, right? Or I got my own problems, and so we kind of steer away from that, or we won't spend as much time because we haven't learned to value those moments as well. You know, today I'm a little bit more tired than I have been in other lives, but I still feel a passion, you know, and love for all of you. So even just little things like that, and that you might be like, oh, well, I can tell he's maybe a little bit, you know, it doesn't, big or small.
So good,
right?
To get on a live whenever I say I can do a live.
Yeah.
And it can be last minute.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, just 4 hours ago, I was like, Rex, I'm not okay. What am I going to do? You know, and then things calm down enough, and whenever that happens, I'm jumping towards you guys, because there has been, from a year ago, the fire has just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger under my feet, and just,
yeah, and
besides the fun little gifts that we know will happen, we know that we'll eventually get there. A lot of artwork that I'm working on, so that we can get greeting cards to each other, because we need to treat each other better in the community. And I've got to talk to Ed Dudes. I've got to talk to him, because honestly, his love slap is what inspired me to want to start. It's basically the same thing, but for the chronic community. And because we're called Spoonful of Sugar, we want it to be called Sugar Smack. And so it's the same thing, showing each other love, going into each other's lives, but also I'm really someone who loves sending things, because I think something physical, and it doesn't happen so much anymore. We rarely get things in the mail, and I'm a sucker for packages and cards, and I'm very spoiled with, my parents doing so well, and especially my aunt sends beautiful handmade cards every holiday, and some out of the blue, and so everyone needs that. Everyone needs that kind of love. And wouldn't it be fun to send a card that says you're sugar smacked, and you get to choose the glitter that you love, your colors, and share that with them, that goes in the card. And we got a lot of ideas, but beyond that, we want to be able to offer you, yearly and then twice yearly retreats where we can get bunches of you completely pampered for a few days. And then we just have so many ideas, and we're getting closer and closer.
We've been working.
Yeah. We have.
Really.
We always say this, and we keep it back. We keep it too close to our chest, because we want to be able to say green light, basically, to you guys. And that's going to be a pretty intense, magical moment for me, because you all deserve to be served in a way that should have happened years and years ago. And it just seems like things we're all fighting so hard to make things better for each other, and sometimes I just feel like it's slipping away, and that we're regressing in some ways. So we can't allow that to happen. And if I have anything to do with it, I'm not going to allow that to happen. You guys deserve the world. And I've said this to several people. There's nobody that I'm afraid to approach. There's no one too rich. There's no one too busy. There's no one too famous. There is no one that I wouldn't approach, or that I wouldn't fight for your right to be seen and to be treated better. And if we, and I know there's a lot of you that are doing, you're on the same mission, and Rex and I can't wait to link arms with you and hopefully do some big things very soon. And it astounds me that things are so pushed aside still, for millions of you out there are suffering, and a lot of you are suffering alone. And even though you might have people around you, you still are feeling isolation because nobody can walk with you perfectly, right? They can't feel what you feel. And so, but the other part to that, really quick before you talk, is what Rex touched on is you have, and I actually want to remember that those that are more happy on TikTok and they're doing their dances and they're doing their thing, they deserve to be treated with love too, and we shouldn't be, like, well, that's great for you, and have a bad attitude. And we've all been guilty. Like, sometimes we've been annoyed, like, okay, wow, the 30th dance this month when I can't move my body, lovely. But that's, we don't have a right to attack their happiness. And the most people I see on, whether it's YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, are just trying to live their best life and show their best life. And I don't know why that's such a horrible thing, other than, it stings sometimes, but that's more to do with us and what we need to fix and work on internally. It stings, and sometimes it's just plain shitty to look at, depending on how hard you've had it, or how hard of a flare-up you're in. But I see a couple big reasons that need to be addressed. And I think we're just going to keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it until we see it flip and become different. These people don't want to see us, and we don't want to see them. And it's ridiculous. We're adults. And what example are we setting for these little ones that are sick, or for people that are going to become sick, or people that are going to look at how many people joined our community because of COVID? That is both heartbreaking, and it also has helped shed a little bit of light on you guys. And so, what a heartbreaking blessing, you know what I mean? But we have so much work to do on just being better overall, and this division is ridiculous. And it's no one gets away with the excuse. No one, in my opinion. You don't get away with the excuse of not being better, or we will never become better. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, so I that's a good segue into kind of what I wanted to share here for just a second. The other day, I was just thinking about, like, what matters most in life, what matters most to me. And, oftentimes I get my own priorities mixed up and just not time to reflect and kind of make adjustments. And we know that life, in terms of, like, things that matter and things that are important, are complicated. You might have things like being engaged and being attentive to people, right? Being selfless, having grace, do your best. We talk about all these things, right? And I wanted to just kind of think to myself, how could I simplify it even more? I narrowed it down to about, like, 4 main things that if I just focused on for the rest of my life, those would be the most important, right? And it was, like, being present, like, for people.
Yeah.
It was be gracious. It was allow yourself to internalize grace and just do your best, right?
Yeah.
So those things, I even narrowed it down to one more. You
If
guys.
I lean this way, you guys, it's because I'm getting a drink, just so you know.
All of those 4 things can be summarized in one. Even love, all the things that we think are just, like, the top thing. And I can't, for me, and maybe this can ring true for you, but the most simplest way with one word to have everything good that's the most important in life, and it was service.
Yep.
Service has all of that. And what we're talking about and what Nell's talking about is the message behind not only what she's talking about recently, but just the whole mission of Spoonful of Sugar is to serve. And how anyone can serve. You could serve people that aren't in the chronic pain community. You can serve from your bed. Andy has been here, and we've been talking a little bit about her story, the sock drive that she gets involved with, and among others. There is opportunities to serve, and there's something about the power of all that's good packed into that one word and that one principle that I think it's something that we all struggle with, whether that's because we can't relate with someone, so it makes it difficult for us to serve them. Maybe I'm not feeling up to it. Maybe I, am selfish at this moment. There's a lot of things that make it difficult for us to just serve.
Yeah, and we get that.
And
was part of what we're trying to do is to make it
easier
for you,
and to encourage you that if that rings true, and if you can't change circumstances in your life, and you don't have a cure, you don't have a certain, there's always something that you can do that will make a difference, even if that is serve. And that could be as simple as, who do I know is really struggling the most right now? And I'm going to send them a genuine text.
And if you look,
that is service.
Absolutely. I'll give an example of just my life. So often I'm in bed and my pain originates specifically mostly for my left eye, but it affects then my right, and then it affects my neck, and then it goes, there's several layers of nerves and pain. To the point where not a single bit of exaggeration, a tear from my left eye is excruciating, and without fail it will cause pain, and oftentimes a flare-up, and sometimes it hurts to blink. And it's even taken close friends and family and community, neighbors, and some still don't understand. So it's taken them, and some still haven't even really looked into fully what I have, which is, that can be hurtful. And I'm sure a lot of you have experienced that too. Like, do you give a damn about what I'm going through? Do you know what my diagnosis means for me, and how that affects me? And so for me, one of our favorite things to do as a family is just, number one, get together. And I'm talking about just, even extended family. And our family happens to just be pranksters, and laughing is our air. It is literally our air. And, I'd say from both sides of my mom and dad's family, especially I think my mom's side is just, it's just hilarious. Jokesters. And it's playing cards, but we're kind of half playing cards because you're laughing your ass off. Sorry for the words, but it's just the way it is. Laughing till you pee. Yeah.
Well, and it's just that.
Let me finish.
Oh, yeah, quick, sorry.
A lot of them have even not understood why can't you just come play cards? What is the big deal? What, like, you're going to be sitting still, playing cards, laughing. And I get that my CRPS, which is what I've been diagnosed with by 2 doctors in pain management, and it took a while to do, because it's not just you have symptoms, they have to kind of watch what you don't have. It's, it's takes a while because it's a culmination of all of that. But for me, took longer because it's very, very, very rarely seen in the head and face. It's actually considered a limb disease, so disorder. And so part of me understands why it's so confusing to them. But then when somebody says, well, hey, what is it you have? After all these years, and you're a relation of mine, you're in trouble. But like, they don't get, and I was explaining just recently to one of my family members, like, you don't understand what it means to my pain to have a facial expression, to laugh, to have a tear fall out, to hold my head up for a long period of time. I have pillows that are over $100 each, because we had to search until there was a pillow that held my head with enough firmness, but also like felt almost like nothing. And I guard those pillows.
You found them.
Yeah, matter of fact, when we found them, we bought 3 or 4, because you get nervous that it's just, what if they go out of business? And but and then some days I am in so incredibly much pain that I choose, and I know it's not good, but I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. I choose to drink less so that I don't have to get up and use the restroom, because it is that much pain. And I know so many of you are just right there with me and understand. But family doesn't understand that laughter can hurt. And it's not just what's in my face and head. My adrenals are messed up. My digestion's messed up. Urinary issues. And it's because my nervous system does whatever it wants. And
well, dragons eat mean people is the username, has had CRPS for 30 years. So she knows what you're talking about. And more people with CRPS.
I will on my, I'm sure we're already following you on this account, but I'll make sure to do on my personal. To have that kind of a diagnosis for 30 years. And I think this is part of I'm going to touch on this real quick. I think this is a part of why people come in, and it's even been expressed to Rex and I. It's been told to Rex and I. Well, to me, and then I told Rex. It has been said straight out by some people that are close to us. They don't watch our stuff all the time because it's too hard. It's too painful. And they don't want to be depressed and sad. And they're missing out on a hell of a lot of depth and amazing. And it doesn't mean that we can't have so much joy and laugh. I've had some of the best laughs with you guys.
Well, and we can...
I'm just saying that's why they have said it. And I'm going to do for you guys, because really quick, I normally don't do this but I'm going to do it. I'm going to ask for it today, because it's not for something that's more, it's something that's very important, and we need to get more people in here, and we need to get more people to our YouTube. And there's so many bigger reasons for for me asking this. When you possibly, and I'm going to be very vague, possibly have people looking at Spoonful of Sugar that might be able to help. They're looking to see how much interest people have. And so right now, if you have family, friends, please go invite.
Linktree. Yeah.
No. Go invite them to join the live. Oh. And we need to get our numbers up. And that's that is for you. It is the farthest thing from Rex and I. It is for you. So the more numbers,
well, the easiest to do that
especially
is
because there's
the link,
millions of people suffering.
If the link tree in our bio takes us to all of our stuff.
No, but I'm asking for right now if you guys can pull people into this live.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, I see.
For right now.
Yeah.
Or invite people to follow each other. Can you even imagine? Because this is how many, you gave the statistic on our recently, how many millions across the world are dealing with chronic conditions? Specifically pain.
I think it's 1.8 billion people globally.
Okay, so when we're struggling to get, which all of you in here, I don't care if there's one, you're worth it 1,000%. So I do not want this to come across wrong.
Right, yeah, sure.
But when I see, and nothing against other creators, the battles that people do, and they're getting gifts and gifts, and then they're doing battles, and I'm just like, you're just sitting there. I'm trying to understand.
Like what's the service? I guess and you want to try to not have it be a criticism.
No,
but
I just said, and sometimes I even will be in there longer than I wanted, because I'm like, it actually does pull you in.
Yeah, there's some entertainment.
But if we could have that, if we could have that with you guys, whether you're in a wheelchair, a bed, or whatever, and we're seeing you, we need to see you or hear your stories more. We've got to support each other, and that is get the numbers in. We see groups way bigger than we have right now on Facebook, and Facebook oftentimes is a much easier platform. YouTube, we're trying to grow to 1,000 so that we can start doing lives, and I mean lives like this. We want to invite you into our life, and what I mean by that is because I know even with such a lovely family and a giving family, both in my home and outside of my home, and our kids and our extended family, there have been chronic people in the chronic pain community that really pioneered, that so many of them are gone now, and I can feel them still fighting for us. But when they said, let's cook together, because, maybe you don't have somebody cooking with you all the time, or let's watch a movie together, or let's just talk, or let's open packages together, or if you have a package to open, please let us know so that we can all share in your joy. Let's decorate the Christmas tree together, and it's endless, and that's one of our biggest goals, and YouTube is painfully slow. We are very proud of all of you on there, and we want the world to see you and your beautiful stories and your beautiful faces, and so it's hard. It hurts my heart to see it be one of the slower growing channels.
It's the reason why I mentioned the link tree in our bio is because it ties into what Nell's talking about. We've just had someone asking, what's your YouTube? If you just click on the link tree, it'll show our YouTube and even our webs.
Yeah, you can say.
Are you sure? Even our website, you guys. I designed our new website. We got a new website out there. So if you go to our link tree, you can check out our new website that we've got.
And it's brand new.
Brand new. We're still developing it.
We have endless ideas for this website.
Yeah.
We have endless products in our head.
But yeah, that's how you can access. So whether it's share it for future lives, like Nell's saying, to bring them in, whether it's right now and trying to tell people, whether that is encouraging them to go follow and kind of be part of it. We just,
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of you are part of some maybe chronic pain, or there's even groups to support caretakers or spouses or just loved ones that are taken care of. And it would be amazing if you went into those groups, and if you're allowed to, because I know there's some with different rules, to say, hey, let's all support each other. And if we get more traffic, because some of those groups have several thousand. And like Rex said, we're talking millions and millions and millions of people.
Like, I can't believe
hold on. Oh. And when I see just, we're dealing with hundreds, and I'm like, it breaks my heart that there's still millions and millions out there that and that's not to say that there's not other amazing charities and groups and individuals. We want to get to know them. We want to find them. We want to link arms, because quite honestly, I think it's going to take that. I think it's going to take a load of us that have started some businesses and nonprofits, and who have a presence on whatever platform, to stand in unity and say, we demand to be noticed, and we demand better, and we demand better coverage, and we demand to be treated differently than, and I say this with all the love in the world for anybody who has a true addiction, but quite honestly, we deserve to be treated differently. I don't care what they have to do to create different scale, because there's, sorry, when Rex does that, my thought process
distracts him.
Yeah. And I know that a lot of it is very scary, because a lot of us are scared to be thrown out of a doctor's office if we say too much or if we ask for too much. A lot of us are scared to share a story because we don't want to be questioned, and we're exhausted as it is. And so that now we've got this true fear component, right? Well, that kind of falls away and becomes kind of nothing when we stand and we link arms and we start saying, no more of this comparison among our own chronic family. The comparison stops, the demanding of things stops, the bullying within stops, and we take care of each other. We link arms, and we get the attention of lawmakers. We get the attention of those that are wrongly declining your care, so that they can have a buck in their pocket, an extra buck. And yeah, I'm aware that I'm saying some things that some people might be a little fearful of. I don't really care. Like I said, I don't care. I care about you guys. I care about how inexcusable it is that we're not doing better for you. And that we're honestly, that includes, I want to say this with my whole heart, I have amazing doctors and I've had amazing nurses, and these, we have a son-in-law that's working his butt off to become an amazing nurse, and he already is. I have the best pharmacists that just know me and care. They truly care. And so while we might have bad experiences, we need to give more love and attention to those that are doing their damnedest and going above and beyond, especially when they are exhausted themselves. We've just got to we've got to do better about caring.
Yeah, and that's actually something I was trying to say earlier. So I'm glad that you talked about it in the way that you did, in that she's describing how we can serve not only each other, but them that are serving us. I mean, so often I think that we kind of get into that space where we kind of wait or want to be served. I mean, everybody
and
likes,
or we complain.
you know,
You know, you're
and
taking too long. Well, we don't know
yeah, and
what
especially
other things they've got going on.
especially in the chronic pain community, you're often the one that is needing service, right? Or be served. So it's not like it's not like the message is, never value that and need that and welcome that. But, hopefully, as part of what can help with some of these solutions so that we're having to cope with less of these gaps is recognize that there's always opportunities that you can serve each other in the situation.
Yeah, the end all and be all, and I've and it's nothing that you guys don't know. What I find so beautiful about what can happen in the lives of those suffering is that you are already magnificent for what you've been asked to carry. And so when you find any way to serve, and I was kind of, I think, touching on this earlier and didn't finish. My eyes, sometimes it's hard to blink. But and how I work is if someone comes to my mind, I try to stop and look in or check in. And then I'll try to do at least a few people a day, a few texts, few messages. And if my eyes just aren't having it, there's this little button that has a microphone. And so we don't have in this day and age a whole lot of excuse not to check on each other. And some people might not check. There's days where I can't check messages and I feel horrible. So that too, be gracious and be patient and just know that it's not personal. No one's not actively trying to ignore you. Matter of fact, they need your attention, but we don't know. They might be going through the fight of their life. They might even be deciding whether life is worth it or not. And some of us, a lot of us have been there where every breath, we could count them because every breath hurts for hours and hours. So we don't know what they're going through, and you just put it out there and let it go. Let it be theirs, however and whenever it's received. And oftentimes, like if I want to send a package and I'm like, man, I really like one. I wanted to send such a sweet, becoming such a dear friend to me on YouTube. I wanted to send her packages for Christmas, and she just got them a few weeks ago. And I still wanted to send the Christmas card because it just was so her. It was kind of the Nutcracker theme, and she did ballet for many years. And so I said, I'm still using this card because it's, I was so excited, and it's so beautiful. It so reminds me of you. And I kind of explained to her how I think, I think that people will receive messages or whatever it is, a card, a gift. Just believe that they're going to receive it when they're meant to receive it. And that's exactly how she responded. She said, you have no idea how, I was really struggling over Christmas, but things have gotten a lot worse over the last few months. And so this means more to me now than it would have at Christmas. And so forget about, don't stop serving because you're like, well, crap, I wanted to do it a week ago, so I'm not gonna. No. They will. And just know that I think Mandy, who might come in here or not,
You know,
Hi, you guys. Um, she is such a beautiful soul and checks on me, and I check on her. And so I'll drop into lives. If any of you are live and I notice, I'll try to come in and just give my love. Um, and really quick, if any of you need to get to your 1,000 followers so you can start going live, and if that's what you want, let us know, because we need to start pulling together and getting you there, because we want to see more of you, and we would love to experience more of you, and even do dual lives or whatever. But Mandy and we'll check on each other. And I went into Mandy's live, I think it was like a month ago, and she's like, I sent you a message. I'm like, sorry, because I had not. And
let me go find
TikTok's a little frustrating to me, and how it's hard for me to find a message, or
I can help you.
Yeah, but it's then once you respond, is it just me? Like it disappears? I don't know where it goes. Sure. But then when they respond, it comes back. Is it just me?
You just have to follow the red dots and make sure they all go away until. I mean, I can understand when you're lost when you got 1,500 red dots and you don't know where the hell to start. But
maybe that's it. Anyway, so I see this like beautiful. I find Mandy's beautiful face, and that's what I'm looking for, is always for your for your faces. And it just simply says, I love you. And I needed it right then. And poor Mandy is like, hello, I'm checking on you. Have you gotten that? And I sure did. And it was way later than she probably would have preferred, but it was right when I needed it. So don't hesitate,
oh, Noelle, she says, I honestly adore you guys. You know what?
That is so sweet.
It's so fun to have.
The sentiment is exactly the same.
We see more and more people kind of come in that we see, and very quickly we connect with them and become friends on here. And as Nell was talking about earlier, we welcome you to sometimes you're not able to see all the videos and the lives that we've got. This is an opportunity for us to really engage with you, and we want to do more of that. But there's a lot of interviews.
And it will be changing to this, just so you know.
Yeah, we want to actually do some pre-recorded interviews and put them out on YouTube, and then have the lives be a little bit more...
Yeah, this is a perfect time for us to say, because it will change
very
quickly here.
Yeah.
He says evolve. It's changing. The recordings, so all of you that are have your scheduled interview, know that it will just be us, and
it'll be a Zoom call.
You can have, or they can have their live going, right? Like that doesn't,
because if we're on Zoom, then it's hard for them to.
So, and that is for a couple reasons. I get very, very sad. I have such a mix of emotions, because I'm loving the interview and I'm all about it. But then I'll glance over and I'll see your beautiful faces and your comments and I want to respond, but you also don't want to break that flow of the interview. And it's not fair for either of you, really. And
the thought, I'm going to put that, I don't even know if I present this, but I'm going to put this out there to kind of give you guys an idea of what to look forward to. Nell's got amazing thoughts, and she's inspired with them. And that idea of having the pre-recorded with the guests, being able to edit it and put it out on YouTube, then people can watch that. Mm-hmm. But these lives where we're going to be more engaging like that, whether or not we choose to or not, that's why I'm just kind of putting Nell on the spot a little bit. But we could even, in terms of just the options, have that person that we interviewed that week join us for a part of it. And be engaging with the, so even if they're not there for an interview or they're not there the whole time, we'll determine whether or not they want to just pop into the live as we're engaging, because they might have questions for them, right? And so we have options, but I think
Yeah,
to
we'll
know,
have to figure.
you
We'll
know what I
have to
mean? Yeah,
think through that, because I also don't want it to be where it becomes the whole thing
yeah,
again.
exactly.
And
Yeah, and that's a beautiful thing, and that's what Nell is saying, is that she wants to have whatever we do next, as you look forward to changes, to be focusing on you guys more than it has been. The interviews are just a part of it, and that's what
and
I'm
so
saying.
many of you are so graciously waiting, and I'm just not okay with and so many of you are, quite frankly, need. And I also ask for your guys' grace and patience. If you see someone, if you feel like you've been waiting and you see somebody come before you, there might be some that we push forward because
Life
yes,
end of they're closer
it's
to end
very
of
hard
life.
for me to say that because I've lost so many dear people. So just,
Yeah,
give us that grace, and just know that there's going to be people that we push forward. And one of the things that we hope that you'll start seeing before the year's over, I'm pushing for fall at the latest, is us starting to travel. And that is to some of you that are very, very ill. And one of my biggest dreams is to be able to just sit with you for a few hours and hug you and just hold your hand. And that's a big goal for Spoonful of Sugar. And those are all things that we have to raise money for, and we're right in the thick of that. And so that's what I mean by numbers matter right now. And some charities and companies want to see that this is what you guys want.
mm-hmm.
And
but it's a
there was something else I was going to say.
Yeah.
No, you're fine. There was, you were talking about
engaging with them. The
interviews.
Yes,
so Rex is totally right. I kind of touched on it, but I get so excited, it's ridiculous. I'm like, and I don't know if Antonio's in here, but if you guys don't know Antonio, go follow him.
Antonio Voices, go follow him, you guys. One of our good friends.
One of his recent uploads, I think it's maybe just 4 or 5 back. You'll see me a comment in there where I was just dead laughing, and Antonio knows more closely what we've been going through the past weeks with my mental health, and some emergencies that we had to, had to stop life and to save my life.
Yeah, talk about service. That guy reached out to me just on the side separately and was making sure that we were okay, you guys. So
and I know a lot of you probably know him very well, and he's usually in here. But we get laughing so much, and we got talking one time about, because I get asked to make spaghetti quite often. I make it, everything's from scratch except for the damn noodles. I'm not that Christ-like, my word. I'm just like, there's a limit to my service. But I'll do almost anything for my kids and my family, who I don't see near enough. But and then my cheesecake, and we got talking about food, and they're like, oh, that's sounding better and better. And I'm like, nothing would mean more to me than to literally serve you guys that food. And so until we can have retreats and maybe you can get some of that, and we are seeing each other one-on-one or meet and greets, the next best thing is to, when we talk about lives and we talk about being with you, we're talking about you cooking with us. And maybe some of you want the ingredients list before so you can literally cook with us, and that would be amazing.
That is awesome.
We'd love to just hang out and laugh.
There's just so many ideas.
Yeah.
Sometimes she'll give me her ideas, and boy, there's a lot to look forward to, because how and when we implement those ideas is just going to be a beautiful thing.
Right now, it depends on
funding.
Yep.
Well, and speaking of funding, we are now positioned where we can literally receive donations. We've got an account. We're not tax exempt. We have the donations page. It goes through PayPal into our account. So follow us on YouTube. Click on our link tree. There's our website there, our YouTube. You can also see us on Good Things Utah. But you talk about engagement. I want to read a couple of comments here. Noel says, "I hope you both are having a beautiful day. I honestly adore you guys."
Yeah, I've seen those. So
Tina,
sweet.
18, "I just got on your YouTube." Noel, Helen, "Something about you guys just radiates love." Of course, we understand. Yes, this 100% such loving, kind, amazing people. It's a tough time because of Mother's Day coming up, but seeing you guys adds so much.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Much light. And then Andy says, "I'd love to see you and get your hugs, and I so badly need and love comfort. Pray that happens."
It's no secret, Andy's one of the first on our list. And the best way you guys can help is bringing others in, whether they're part of the chronic community, mentally, physically, it doesn't matter, or if they have something that's traumatic or they've gone through in their life. That's why we added chronic pain and suffering in our mission statement. We don't want to limit ourselves or limit you guys to the love that you deserve to receive. And so we want to see, and we quite frankly need, and these businesses and these charities need to see that. And I genuinely hate this part, but we that's what we need right now, because we've done everything on our part. And
well, there's only so much you can do with investing in your own money. We've
done everything on our part to get to this point, and it is now out of our hands, and it's in the hands of people that are looking at us and deciding. And it's in the hands of our Heavenly Father and our Lord, and quite frankly, it's in the hands of you guys as well. And so if each of you, if everyone just said, "Hey, 5 friends," or can you imagine the numbers that would? And we by no means are trying to say we're more important than other charities or other. There's an incredible, and like I said, we want to link arms with these people. We want to, because the more talent and the more support we get, the more love and support you get. That is far beyond the time that it should have happened, and we just want to show a teeny tiny bit of our love, and to get to as many of you as we can, both physically but especially through the mail. That is, we're unique in that. There's some much bigger charities out there that really focus on how you can deal with your condition and how you can. We're more just about loving on you, and so we have the best part of it.
Well, she just beautifully takes service. We talked a little bit about like principles and stuff like that. One of the things I love about Nell is that Spoonful of Sugar embodies service, but it's just done more fun, more colorful, more artful. And whether that's in gifts or this or that, the ideas are endless. But that's really what it is.
We
It's
just
saying
want to
you are
spoil you.
deserving, you are
Yeah.
worth, and you are deserving of being served in a different way
We want
than
we
maybe you're
want
used
to
to.
spoil you, even if it's just in the smallest way. Receiving something physical, even a card. I know that in times where I've received a card in the mail or on the door, I held it to me and my chest like it was what was helping me breathe. Because it meant someone took that time to write something in it or make it and put it in an envelope and address it, and those things take a little extra time, and that means that they love you, and that's what we're trying to do. And we're also trying to give all of you, and you'll understand more as the websites develop more, and as we get funding, and what we mean by we want to give you the tools to make it easier for you to get cards and things out yourself to others. And we'd love to see it ripple endlessly, like you're looking at the ocean, because we have an ocean of people that are not okay.
Yeah.
Not even close. And we all know that.
And we've felt and experienced a lot of that, you guys. It's not like I hope that I don't know, I hope that comes across in a way that it's not like we're saying, hey, we have some authenticity to be able to relate, because we've walked a lot of what maybe you've gone through. But in some way, as humbly as we can, we that's part of why we are where we're at, is that we just happen to find ourselves in a lot of the same kinds of situations where we've either experienced great pain or watched great pain. And it just, it's something that's dear to us, and that we really feel a kinship with.
Oh, it's your family in it. Just, to me, I look at, when I say family, it's such a sacred word to me, because you guys are just that important, and I look up to you immensely. I cannot believe what some of you go through, and then your ability to, so many of you share far more than or are on far more than we are, and are willing to share things that we haven't even done yet ourselves. And then the talents, and to see you, even seeing your lives before these things smacked you in the face, and how you adapt to it beautifully, and how I love seeing the before and the now, and what you dream for the future. And we want to be there for all of it, and we want to we want to help you continue to have that hope, because we're seeing, I personally am seeing an increase of people losing hope, and it scares the life out of me. And now I feel even closer to you. The one blessing that came out of the great trial that I've gone through this past month and a half of having real suicidal thoughts. These weren't just like a thought and then it's gone. It was beating me down to nothing, and I was convinced that I even had a list of things of why it was good. It was going to be good, better for Rex and the kids and you guys, and it was going to be good. The one thing that came out of it that was a blessing was that I am closer to you, a lot of you now. I understand that kind of pain and that kind of confusion sometimes as to where the hell that came from, or because you I don't care if you think yourself faithful or not. Yes, you are. If you breathe every day, sure, you sure as hell are a faithful, strong person. So if you're right now convincing yourself, or someone's convincing you, or something's convincing you that you're weak, that you're worthless, that you don't have anything to offer, that anybody would be better off, nothing could be further from the truth. And I'll never stop fighting for your... I believe that out of anybody on TikTok, besides innocent little children who make us all smile, you deserve to be put on a pedestal. You deserve to be the ones with the views. You deserve people's time. And you deserve to have the massive accounts. You deserve to have people saying, hey, can we come in and do more of a documentary on your story? You deserve at least that chance to have those offers. And I won't ever stop believing that that's what you deserve. And a lot of the reason you deserve it is because you're so incredibly humble while you go through hell and back. And I'll say this to kind of end this big thing that we went through. You know, that I think a lot of us have heard how, you know, if a criminal's running from the cops, oftentimes, more often than not, I think, and I hope I'm getting this right, they're more afraid of the dog and the dog bite than a taser or even a gun. And that is because people, their biggest fear is suffering, especially long suffering. Your people's biggest fear. And that's going to take some work and coaxing to get them here.
To look at it, let alone a conversation.
To sit with it, and to... They don't want to believe that someone is in a state of suffering for days, let alone months, years. And that, not on top of that they're being treated badly, and on top of that they're being under medicated, and they're not, like, I think they honestly don't know what to do, which is why I go off on the be kind.
Yeah.
They don't genuinely, scares the hell out of them, because that means the connection they have with you is that they're human. And so if it could happen to you, they know it can happen to them. And it's easier to turn your head and just be like, it doesn't exist. They don't exist. It doesn't exist. And it's nothing personal. It's to do with them and their fear. And I know that a lot of us, unless you were born with it, that was, when I got smacked in the face with it, it was, it took years of dealing with the debilitating fear. So be gracious to them, but that's why I want them to sit with you for a couple hours too, because you're just, it shows, you guys show why it can even be a beautiful thing, why you can somehow find joy in it, and why you can thrive within that.
Well,
because you develop things that are hard won. You know?
yeah, like Noelle even says here, I wrote a song and I recorded it. It's about my life, the abandonment from my family. I'd love to share it with you. She says, Nell, I'm so grateful that you stayed. You inspire us so much. We need you in this world. Love you. I would love to have you share that. I don't know if she meant, I don't want to put you on the spot. I didn't know if she's proposing to have us pull her in live and sing a song, but however you want to share that with us, my friend.
Well, Noelle, if you, I don't know if she's actually scheduled with us.
Mm-hmm.
Is she?
I don't think so.
If you want to have an interview, and that would probably be
maybe a
even
time
a better time, because that can go along with your story. Let us know right now, and we'll make sure.
She has it recorded. I can totally forward it to me. Yeah, send an email.
But thank you for saying that to me.
Yes.
That was the hardest thing to believe.
Yeah. Send an email to us, Noelle. I'd love to listen to that. Send it to spoonfulofsugarrexnell@gmail.com if that's an easy way to get it to us. But we'd love to listen to that.
Yes.
Thank you for your comments. I know so many have said that and feel that way, and maybe they haven't had an opportunity to watch some of the videos, let alone that video that when we did that ketamine where we were telling people publicly for the first time that that's where Nell was at, and it sounds like that you've already watched that, but yeah, that's how people feel about you.
Yeah, Rex and I are very we're very open, and there's still a lot of videos Rex and I want to do regarding if we can offer any advice and tips. We will have been married 28 years in September, and
love of my life.
We've dealt with Rex has a couple things mentally that he'll share with you when we have more time, and I've got physically, and we've really swapped roles throughout the years, and we still do, depending on day to day. Somebody could be having it worse than the other.
She's helped take care of me. I've helped take care of her.
And then our beautiful kids have just, man, they're angels. But and now all their partners in life and their loves are, they couldn't have chose better, and our sweet granddaughter.
Yeah, our family grows, and we love.
We just could not have chose better. We could not have been given better angels in our lives and in our extended families. But
and then to have it added upon that, just people obviously don't serve because they need to get the blessings. But if there's anything that is true, is that when you do selflessly and with love serve, boy, Heavenly Father's just there and wants to bless the heck out of you, in various ways. And a lot of those blessings are in moments when your life seemed to be the darkest that it could ever be. We've talked about that. And that those have been some of the greatest blessings of bringing us closer together. Blessings is not just pie in the sky, out in the park, sunny day.
No.
Ease,
Without fail, if you're having a bad day, if you're wondering what the hell is going on, why are you here, what's going on with your mind, your body, or if I don't care what's going on, the answer is always serve.
Yeah.
And it's what's beautiful about it is it's an immediate medicine.
It does help yourself.
Immediate.
Yeah, it helps yourself even, interestingly.
Yeah. And again, I know that preaching to the choir here, I'm sure but if we can get a message out to even one person that's trying to understand how they can enrich their own lives
Antonio
and become
Voices.
joy. Find
Antonio
joy.
Voices just. Antonio, we were talking about you earlier, my friend. You'll have to go watch it. Sorry to interrupt you, but I just saw Antonio Voices
I know.
come.
He's
Hey, what's up, my
he's
friend?
worth interrupting for.
Yeah. Oh, what a good friend. We were talking about how you reached out, my friend. If I put you on the spot real quick at a time of need when I really needed it, when I was trying to be there for Nell. And so I just want to let you know, and speaking of service, and go watch the full video, because we've been talking about what Spoonful of Sugar really means, and that ultimately is service. Boy, what an example he and others, but that you've been, and you served me in helping me as I was trying to help her. So
Yeah.
I just want to thank you.
He's just funny as hell too. He had me laughing. I had 5-6 straight weeks of just sometimes almost just this comatose type, you know what I mean? Like, just like hollow. Certainly not me.
Well, things change so quickly.
Yeah.
You guys, she is here, obviously beautiful. She looks amazing. I'm not saying that she doesn't look beautiful and amazing when we have hardships, but we all know firsthand that so much of your life is where you don't have a pause, and you're in front of the camera and the lights and things, and you're in the trenches,
Yeah.
and so we get that, we get that, that life's not always like this for us, and we get that for you as well.
And if you see someone, because it's happened a couple times where it's, and we're so blessed that it's only happened a couple of times, where people have kind of been upset, like, with us for one reason or for another. We just ask, and if it's somebody in the comment section and you guys see somebody, just remind them that I have a very serious condition myself, and I'm in bed
Hey, Jess.
more often than not. So we're not doing this, or haven't started Spoonful of Sugar being healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes a lot out of you, a healthy person. But as Rex was saying, it just brought me closer to you guys, and I feel even a much deeper connection now that I've gone to a place that I didn't quite understand prior, and it holy hell, it has my respect, like a healthy respect for what can happen and how fast, and but anyway, what I was going to try to say is Rex and I, we'd love to do videos and plan on where we're very open as where I was trying to go. So that's why you'll see sometimes me in ketamine, or like how you see me in emergency one, that they were doing specifically for kind of treatment for suicide.
Mm-hmm.
And that Rex read what was meant to be a goodbye letter, and somehow it switched, and this was my one of my miracles.
Annie just said she just watched it.
Oh, wow.
It's on our YouTube channel.
I'm so sorry
the links
if it
in the bio.
Anybody. We need to give the proper trigger notice, I think, on it, and there will be more of me speaking in detail about it, but it will be done properly. But anyway, that's, there's a reason I allowed Rex to read what became the things I'll miss, because something switched as I was writing it. My heart was, here I was convinced that they would all be better without me, but then I was realizing you know, especially when it came to my kids and Rex, and especially my little toots,
pea size,
and our families, and our dear friend who, you guys know Julie, she's on here all the time, but you know, I'm just gonna kind of use Toots as my, I think, biggest angel through that. I just started writing all the things that I would miss that I get to do with her, and you know,
she loves
like
you
how I,
so much
when she's sleeping, or when she's just sitting still and relaxing in grandma's lap, you know, I'll just literally put my mouth on her and speak affirmations and speak positivity, and just I will tell, like, I just feel like I want to tell her cells how stunning they are, and to never stop. And because so often innocence is lost because of neglect or abuse, and I want the exact opposite for her. And so I speak it in English, and I speak it in the little bit of French that I know, and I'm learning French because of her and with her.
She even knows au revoir.
And she says au revoir. And she is now can count to 5 in French and English. She's just, but since she was born, I've told her the same things in French over and over and over and over every time I see her, and those things are, I am here, and you're my sunshine, little one, and you know, you know, sweet dreams, and just there's just some more little phrases that I say in French, and she just, I can tell it brings her, and we have such a bond,
a unique relationship.
Yeah, and there's no sweeter word in the world than when she looks at me, or I hear her say "meme," you know.
My meme.
And so, look, I'm just gonna be straight with you guys. If any of you are at that point, there's 2 things that I learned, and I think it helped save my life. Well, 3. When I was completely alone and I could have done anything. And I told this to Rex. You can put me in a hospital, I'll eventually get out. You can't watch me 24/7. And these are the things that we all know, you know. And you can't hide. There's
she
a million.
And she wasn't bluffing when it was just at that moment when it was just her and I that knew.
Yeah. Well, there were 3.
Maybe we'll share
3 moments over 5 weeks. Pretty serious.
I was completely beside myself. She was not joking at all, and it wasn't a, you know, cry wolf or hey, I'd really like to kind of get some attention.
That is not.
It wasn't even that I'm considering it, right? It wasn't even that. Oh, you know, I'm kind of considering it, so I hope that you can help me turn it around. No, I've made up my mind, and I'm letting you know, and you know.
Yeah.
It was pretty brutal.
I'm saying right now, because maybe somebody needs to hear this right now, or maybe you know somebody that you could pass it along to, because a lot of times we don't know what to say, and or what advice to give. And for me, what helped me so much was, you know, I was alone, and Rex has to work, and even though he was there, if I said the word, he would drop anything.
I get to work.
But yeah, and he's just in the other room. But
work from him.
I just kept for hours. I just held my knees up to my chest, and I just for hours was in my office on the floor, and I just kept repeating, "Hold still, hold still. You don't do anything. You don't think anything. You don't make a decision. You hold still." And then the next thing was, you be honest. Be honest and tell someone. And then the thing that ultimately changed my mind, because this was after ketamine, after what some of you seen, I still was dealing with more than something chemically. So the ketamine tried to do and helped somewhat, but I think I would have needed a lot more help, and we only have so much cash to keep, even though they're the best people in the world and restorative health. But when I decided to change the title of my letter from Goodbye to The Things I'll Miss, that was such a miracle and a turning point. And so much so that I think that could be the thing that saves some lives. Because when you really, I don't care who you are, I don't care what background, I don't care what trauma, if you really sit with it and think about the miracles that you have, I don't care if it's a butterfly that flies in front of your face.
Yeah, that's
I don't
true.
care if
Things
it's a
we
breeze.
take for granted.
Yes, if you are truly trying to, write what you would miss, powerful. You have a chance.
Yeah, it's powerful.
And a big one.
And it's more than just being grateful, right? If we're grateful, we're going to be happier. If we're just grateful and count our blessings, or even, think of my favorite things like the sound of music. Yeah, that's part of it. But what she's talking about is just that moment of sacred
that's
reverence,
why,
almost,
for whoever's heard it, that's why, and I'm a very, I don't know what you'd call me. They find me very entertaining in my family, and we love to laugh about some of the things. Even down to language. I often find English boring. And so I'll either make a word longer or shorter. I love to mix things up, and I'm very, very so anybody that's heard that letter, you hear me talking about running my fingers along a frame or old furniture, and me talking to it and praying over it. And I'm I don't even know what you would call something like that.
You're just very you see life in color. That's the easiest way that I at least think of it, is that words are not just a way to convey a meaning.
No,
it's an opportunity for you to pick up red and pick up blue. And people that just go like that lazily with just gray, there's more that you can do. And words sometimes is just that. And how you can be, how you
I think I'm trying to explain, no, you're fine.
Am I going off to it?
No, I think I'm trying to just explain, because it might be what the hell kind of letter was that? As I'm talking about, I'll miss the canopy. I'll miss the...
Yeah.
I'm just very, I think suffering, and I know you guys know this. I think suffering, hey you guys, sorry, has... really, I was already that way. A little girl that would see. My mom had the most beautiful rose garden, and you could find me out there singing and touching the roses, and I knew what rose petals that I could kind of sneakily eat the petals, because they, I was somebody that loved to graze straight from the dirt or right off the plant, and I love to feel, literally feel earth and God's creations, and I love to experience it all. Part of the experience that I have with little Toots is with Toots, and that's what I'm trying to... She has amazing people all around her, but that's my little thing that I'm trying to teach her, is to live for everything. Everything has beauty, and everything deserves us to stop and look and feel and sometimes talk. That's fine too. Or, pray with some old furniture, and or kind of, anyway, that was not what I'm trying to say. Is that letter was not weird for me in the least, or Rex. He's totally used to that. But it might be a little weird for some of you, thinking like, was she on something when she wrote that? No, that's how I am in real life. I'm very, I love life hard, which even makes it more weird that I was so determined to end my life, but yeah, I guess I'm trying to like prepare some of you that are going to go probably listen to that.
If you haven't already watched it, yeah.
And I was writing as fast as I could.
Really?
Yes, I was writing as fast as I could. So I told Rex, it's not finished. It's not finished, especially when it comes to our children and how I feel about every one of them and their loves, and my and our families, and there's so much more about life that I didn't finish writing. And I told Rex I want to finish writing that, because if there's ever a moment where I feel like there's even a hint of me going back into that frame of mind, that's what I'm grabbing, and that's what I'm reading. And I don't care if I have to frame it in 5 different frames, and I make myself read every day. That is part of what saved my life. And
yeah, it was
all of a sudden just got kind of sucked back into the reality of how close that was. But
and you guys have been part of, helping with what she's going through. I mean, Nell's obviously,
you guys will hear her. That you're a part of my letter. You there's a couple parts where I have this heart necklace on every day, never take it off, and I have my spoonful of sugar ring on, and there isn't a moment that I feel this necklace or I look at my ring, and I don't need them to think of you, but it certainly, I can't look at them or feel it without thinking of you, and you were part of saving my life and my word. If I can give you, if I can serve you, in the smallest way, we're just not going to stop until you guys see, until you start seeing what we've been dreaming of,
yeah, Noelle says to you, we're better people because we know you. And then Chelsea, who we interviewed just last week, is sending you so much love and blessings. You are worthy of life and love and the blessings on this earth. So it's a treat for her, and that she had missed you, yesterday.
I absolutely,
she knows how
missed
much
you
love.
as well.
Yeah,
it's one of the most painful things. Oh my word! Yeah, I go through hell when my body won't cooperate and I can't be with Rex. And so, if that happens in the future, just please know. And a matter of fact, it bothers me so much that I'm always like, well, we'll get you back on, because I feel like, the whole purpose is for both Rex and I to be here and talk to you, and we want that. And so, if that's ever something you guys would want to do again, we're here, and we are coming back more often.
well, she says, we validate your feelings and pain. We feel you there the whole time.
Thank you so much.
We wouldn't be the same without you. So you guys are just so gracious. I appreciate you.
That means, yeah. And if I'm ever holding my tears in, my eyes messed up. Like, you guys have already served me these beautiful words are just something that I'll treasure. It's just an addition to what you've already beautifully done. You're the reason. You're so much a part of the reason that I made it through.
Yeah.
And
so thank you for serving us.
Yeah, my word.
Thank you.
That's what I feel. I feel
Yeah.
like you guys just are endlessly patient with. Oh, you keep talking about your dream, the Spin Voyageur, and you're endlessly patient with this. And I promise we're just working behind the scenes still, and we're closer than ever. And we kind of have done all we can do.
Yeah.
Besides allowing companies and people to decide if they want to jump on board, so
yeah, well, it'll be fun. We already talked about,
we kind of are entering the fun stage.
Yeah, well, I mean, Noelle just talked about, she's like, I can't wait till we actually connect. She's going to send me an email, so I'll get her scheduled. And yeah, you guys, I mean, there's a lot of work behind the scenes, but it's kind of a fun time to reach out and connect with businesses and charities and have a website and things ready to go and all set up. And in a lot of ways, even though it's been a little over a year that we've started this, we're just getting started. We're
oh my word,
we're just getting started. So there's a lot that
unfortunately
that we have in mind, so
it's numbers and people and money that frees us. But Rex and I talk all the time. Once we're free, once we are free, it will, nothing will stop us. It will then free us to really work on this and have this be what we live for.
Yeah.
And
there's just globally, we've got people that are interviewing in Australia and the UK. We've had one in Ireland, so it's
we
fun.
all know it's needed. There
1.5 billion. Think of that, you guys.
That's why I was going to say there could be 10,000 charities. It will never be enough to serve you guys. It will never be enough. And so there's no one too important, no one too wealthy, no one that has too much to do, no one that's big enough celebrity that cannot take the time for you. And
that's true.
Rex and I, no one is off the list of who we are personally willing to approach
and to work with or collaborate with or whatever.
And we're just right there in the doorway, not just at the doorway. We're open the door, in the doorway, and now we're just waiting.
Well, and before we didn't have a check, little details like, people want to be able to write off tax exempt stuff. So getting that tax exempt status. We didn't have a checking account set up or a PayPal that links to it, a website, so there's things where people aren't going to, there'll be, even if they wanted to, that they're like, okay, well, you're not quite there. Well, we are, we're at that place where we've got those things in place. And so it's taken a while to get there. So,
and the logo, I was saying before how I quickly, in the middle of the night, and I was hurting, that I sketched that. It was between 20 and 30 minutes because it had been in my head, and I just sketched it quickly. And that sketch stayed in my book for about 3 months. And one day I felt strong impression. You need to go scan that sketch in exactly how you have it, and you're going to use it in its imperfect state. So that sketch you see, the logo you see, is my first sketch, and it is the reason I believe I had the prompting to do that is because we don't want there to be any feeling of anything needs to be perfect.
She taught me that.
I don't want it to be. I want you to see the rough lines. I want you to see that was that I could have worked on that for another couple weeks straight to making sure everything's perfect. Well, that's not what we want. so even the logo itself, and I know that it is, you know, a lot of you know what Spoonies is, and the whole reason we're called Spoonful of Sugar. Some of you don't. If you don't, look up what a spoonie is, and then you'll understand.
Well, we've got,
but we're going to add, as a part of the website, every little meaning of what is in that drawing, because every little bit of that drawing has deep meaning to me and is connected to you.
Watch for that. And I'm designing that, so she'll be able to give me some pictures and some content, and I'll go do my tech stuff and build it out, and it's going to be fun to develop that. So Wix is a great application, so watch for us just kind of playing from here in terms of building out that site, because it was one of
the website will have a lot to offer.
It was one of the best experiences I've had, and been able to design and put that together. And I'm going to be working closely with this genius here to make it better.
What I'm saying is we're adding the meaning of that logo, because I'm sure a lot of you look at it and go,
what is it? And that look for that.
We see the spoon, so we might get the spoon meaning, but what the hell is all that, you know, filigree and the filling around it? It all has deep meaning.
When you look at when you
connects you to it.
So when you look at McDonald's arches, you know what it's about. You know, so it's got to be. We need to kind of put some definition out there, so people that don't know us or what we're about,
Well, I'm just saying, because a lot of people could have been like, you could have just put a spoon with sugar. No. I'm just saying, you guys are a little more special than that, so the logo had to be too.
So watch for that. That might even be something in a week, depending on if I can just get the wording.
You know what I just thought of?
What?
Is because we got to have, especially if Antonio's still in here, we got to have a good laugh. So we're super excited to talk with Steve tonight. I'm pretty sure I'm right that it's Bordeaux and not Borno.
Did I say Borno?
Yeah.
Oh, Steve.
I don't know.
Bordeaux. It is.
Okay, you did say Bordeaux.
It might even be Bordeaux.
Good thing he has a sense of humor. But we had kind of a laugh with him last night as we were. But anyway, he was not feeling well tonight. We wish you all the best and hope you heal quickly, Steve. We can't wait to get you back.
He's looking forward to get back. If you guys aren't following him, you know, you probably already know.
I told Rex, Steve and Antonio need to be friends and collaborate, and because they're so stinking funny and about similar things. They're just equally funny.
Oh, I know that Antonio knows.
Oh my word,
Steve.
Well, I'm saying do something with him.
So gracious. Noelle, we have people that are actually we may interview even, you know, more frequently, but we've got enough even just right now without reaching out to any more to the first part of 2025. But she says, I feel like I haven't to need to tell you that you belong here. No one could ever fill your spot on this. Wow. Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't thank you isn't enough. No. I don't know.
No.
I don't.
Very kind.
I don't. It's hard for me to respond to such kindness, and this is why people need you guys. Because you've been there, so you know what to do and say, you know, to take care of each other. And I am a very blessed woman because of you guys. So
you guys have served us.
Thank you doesn't.
You serve us.
Do justice.
If you guys get anything out of what we are trying to do for you, then all the better. But boy, we do feel like the lucky ones, and it's something that we look forward to, you know, every week. And we've met some of the friends that will last for eternity, quite frankly.
Oh yeah. So, I just look at you all as
family.
We high-fived before we came, and we're gonna high-five after. We're gonna be like, we told you we'd do that. Look what we did. And we all have a mission here, and I think it's time to link arms tighter, and and do this. You know, do this, and make the world see us.
And thank you for
the funny part. I was trying to
being along for the ride. Guys, buckle up.
So tonight so it was after Steve, and Rex never knows how I'm going to be, and he graciously takes on interviews. Whether I'm there or not, and
Yeah.
even if I can be in the chat, I'll be in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'm just like.
Sometimes we were right there by the bedside. Yeah, we've had those.
I've been on the
YouTube.
Floor.
You could see
two
that.
times. I've been on the floor in the room going, "Hey, I'm here."
Yeah.
Probably sound half drunk because I'm in pain and I'm like rolling back and forth. How are you doing?
Yeah.
But if I can possibly show up, I'll show up. You'll know. But these past weeks, I think you guys truly understand and so gracious that this was a whole other. This was beyond, so far beyond my physical pain, and I just wasn't. I was still trying to process how the hell I got myself into so much trouble,
Yeah, she was in trouble.
Yeah. So, but today, what did I text you? We got laughing so hard.
Oh, she said.
Check
this out. I got two funny things because Antonio made a comment, and I don't want to miss that.
Shoot. Oh no, Antonio.
Well, let me read his comment. Our love is as strong as Rex's love for Taco Bell. He knows how much I love Taco Bell. I usually know about that. I usually like to get Taco Bell right after.
I don't know about. Yeah, every time he does something good, it's like a little kid. He's like,
"Oh, it's like a treat." But today,
yes, when I honk and I laugh sometimes.
Not
the other day. Today.
Or today, when she learned. No, I don't know if you can pull. When she learned that we weren't going to interview with Steve.
Yes, I can.
She's like.
No, wait, here I said. This is how oblivious I am to like the app, and also how much he spoils me, like just getting things done.
The operational stuff.
So I say, do you want to see if people still want us to go live? Can you do that? And I'm like, is that a thing? And so I'm just trying to get to the ones that he said. And then I said, I would be there only if others want to still. And he's probably scratching his head like major. Like what?
Like, of course people are going to show up.
Others want to still.
Like,
how am
what
I going to
talking about?
So, and he goes, I was not breathing for quite a minute. He says, others meaning ? And I'm like our followers. Can you check with them?
Check with them. Let me just check with them.
And he says,
crickets.
I kept reading this and I could not breathe. He says, how would we check?
I'm like, check with them. Let me just check with them. Are you guys up for an interview tonight with no? What the hell?
I genuinely thought there was a button.
Let me do a survey. In fact, let me give that. Let me call everybody up.
I genuinely thought.
Let me call Antonio. He's got. He'll be my assistant.
Antonio, can't we play like phone tag or something? Just
imagine. Hey, Noelle Ellen, you still up for an interview this evening? Hey, Antonio Voices.
Yeah.
Hey, Chelsea, you still planning on?
I thought. And no, let me tell you.
Andy, you coming?
What was in my mind was like he could do a quick poll, hey, real quick, because can't you do that?
No, you can't do that. That's what I've said. That's a TikTok feature request right there.
Is it just me or is it him? Because I swear I've seen things.
No, you cannot. They're laughing. Look at this laughing, crying. You cannot just say, followers, what do you think? Send an answer. Hey, no. 8,000 followers want to
agree with that. I think that there is. Isn't there something?
I think that's a good idea. Okay, we can put it in a request in there so that
I keep
check with them next time.
How would we check? And he's still being so
I didn't. Yeah, it wasn't
nice
at
to
that
meet you.
at
You
that
know, like,
point. I didn't know it wasn't a funny thing. I'm like, of course, yeah. What are you thinking? What are you quite asking? How can I?
and I just did, like, you can see the laughy faces. I was not breathing. I couldn't even see how would we check for a while because of his
I'm like,
previous response.
how do we check?
And he says, and then he goes further. And he goes, I mean, crickets. And then I just died. I'm like, I go, well, usually you have ways. Like, he just fixes things, and he.
I mean, it's a wonderful idea, and she has many wonderful ideas, but it just doesn't exist. You can't just push a button and say 10,000
If it
followers.
truly doesn't exist,
Which ones will?
I'm having a talk with TikTok because we should be able to press a button and be like, y'all, you know, y'all want me in an hour, you know. How does that sound? You know,
there's
like,
been some things. There's been some things that have been maybe a little easy. Whew. That surf tray that I'm bringing to your room.
Part of it is because
orange juice that I fill. You know, push a
part
button.
of it is because of how well he treats me.
Here's your orange juice. Here's your order. Here's your salt and pepper. She's maybe a little
but that honestly spills over to you guys. I think I'm onto something. Like, we need an emergency meeting. It is a
good idea, yeah. In all seriousness, that would be great.
Somebody's not feeling well. We need we need to rally around them. We need something faster.
How many people want to see me tonight at 6 o'clock? Boom.
Within an hour.
Let me know.
Give us a poll. You know, I'm telling you somewhere. I've seen it somewhere. So, what does he say? I cannot.
He's laughing at the whole 8,000 out of 10,000 people said yes. Yeah. And that's a pretty powerful feature, man. That's like instant feedback. That's not even like posting something and waiting for likes. That's like within the hour. Do you guys want to see me live? Tell me how many. I know. We should.
Oh man. He caused my head to like, look, I was going to get on. I was like, I'll just ask him questions. And then I was laughing so hard that my head started hurting again. And
well, this is your answer.
Look what you did.
You know, people want to
No, my answer is that they all are laughing at TikTok because they don't have that option.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah. Very rational thought. And what's wrong with you, TikTok?
But I think that's something TikTok needs to work on.
It is, yeah.
You know, really we got to be able to like
instant gratification answer. How much do you guys want to see?
I'm always the one where people are like.
She says, "We always want to see you." The answer is always yes.
Oh, that was very. You gotta love Nell.
Yeah.
I know. Every time I've got. Last time Antonio had to go med check because I was talking about, you know, if we get together, I'm not doing your meds, people. I'm not.
Oh, he was talking about being an assistant at one of our retreats. Med check. There's only so much spoonfuls of sugar can go around the world. We still need our meds. Pillow fight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then we started talking about
pillow fight.
Well, like some people need like only hit here, Jenny. Like a target here. You can't hit over here.
Yeah.
Like mine would be if you hit my left part of my face, you're dead. You know.
Yeah.
So we all have different targets of what's safe to hit. Like, can you even imagine some of the hilarious?
Yeah. You know what? What perfect timing, Antonio, because Gianni just joined us and she's got her own production little studio she does on TikTok. We could do some kind of like acting video when we're getting ready to do the advertising for the retreats. And she could help to produce me and Antonio with pillow fighting.
Oh, Antonio.
Like a big old
and Antonio, you don't even know. You don't even know how much we talk about you in the future, Spoonful. Yeah. We're like, well, Antonio.
Yeah, we've got plans for
Antonio, yeah. He would be. Yeah, so don't be afraid. It's going to be okay.
Oh, it's good seeing you, Johnny. We love watching your talent and your videos, my friend. She joined us when we turned TikTok.
When you say Johnny, are we talking Danny?
Gianna.
Oh, yes.
Johnny.
Oh, yes. I thought you said
No,
Johnny, and I was like,
no.
as in depth.
Gianna, I think I might be
By
saying
the
that
way,
wrong.
really quickly, can I get like a who's for Johnny
Oh,
right
amen
now?
for Johnny. Yeah. Hello. I mean, you know that
Me
Johnny is
times
for
a
Johnny.
thousand.
Sam the guy. Yeah.
Um.
Danny. Danny's done.
Oh, Danny, don't
Look how
don't
inspired
come
he's
after
been.
Johnny with Danny.
Yeah.
No,
Justice for we have no shame to say justice for Johnny.
no, I don't.
Yeah.
And that's not just because of how much we love Danny, which that's some hardcore love for Danny.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, follow Danny if
some guy Danny.
You guys just.
Oh, thank you, Johnny. Johnny, I hope I'm saying that right. Gianni. I think I remember.
Spell it for me because I can't see it.
Gianne. It's and I think she said it's Gianni.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gianni.
Gianni.
Mm.
Yeah. You know how I
but
love
if you
to
guys
change
aren't
it
following
up.
her,
So if it's Gianni, can I call you Gianni?
Follow her. She's so talented with
you
artistic. She's attracted
insane.
People. Has her own production kind of company where they do production kind of things through on TikTok and stuff like that. And this is an example, guys, that you don't always get feedback that people are saying they're loving you. You are in their homes. You know, I don't know if I've had an opportunity to talk to her since we went, turned TikTok purple. Yeah. And so she doesn't know that she's, sharing. Sometimes we'll see her children. She's just an amazing soul.
Yeah.
And so keep doing what you guys are doing, because it's not like, just because there's not a comment and a like does not mean that there's not connections that are happening and that we're not a part of your life and cheering you on.
Or just talking about you, praying for you, always in our thoughts. But we, what was I going to say? It's the pleasure and honor is ours.
Yeah.
Truly. Thank you so much. But well, and then I was going to say, and we got talking about food, and then they were like, so we're expecting spaghetti and cheesecake, and and so we've got the retreat.
Oh yeah.
The retreat idea is something I will not let go of.
Oh, that.
Yeah. It's just that y'all need to come with your meds and like how to, and if it's too many meds, like you're gonna have to travel with your aide or someone, because I cannot be responsible. I can barely take care of myself.
Yeah, it is something that we look forward to.
Yeah, Antonio
we until the day, that's one thing that you guys can count on in terms of the future, is that until the day, until the day that we die, we are going forward with all these kinds of things. So however long we're blessed with years,
what we do, we both do full time.
Yeah, and so yeah, it's
including others. You guys know Misty, and she's graciously and excitedly wants to be a part of all of this and making your lives better. And
Misty Marvin, if you guys don't know, and Perfectly Perfect, if you're not following her.
She's in here sometimes, but Antonio just doesn't know yet that he'll be a part of it somehow.
Oh, Andy says I'll have to pack 2 suitcases to hold all my meds, but I'll be there at the retreat.
However many suitcases you need, girl. That's not the problem.
And Gianni says I love her so much. So yeah, people I think know Misty Marvin. She's been
yeah.
So she's
pretty special. Well, you guys have
part of our team.
She was here, and that was so special. And that's before I think even retreats is what you'll see is Rex and I traveling and recording that to some of you. So and there's a handful of you at the very top of the list that we're just you just, none of you can go anywhere until, and we got to get there and
Yeah, so
love on you. And so
help us out. Go to that link tree in the bio. It's got our new website. It's got our the website has where people can actually donate. Follow us on YouTube. Spread the word.
The biggest thing is just spread the word.
Yeah, spread the word, and whatever you guys can do to help bring people together, all the more in terms of the love and what we're all trying to do for each other. And so if you haven't already checked out, go to our link tree. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube. Check out our website. It's something that just recently put out there, and we're excited about having that be developed and built.
Yeah, that will be developed quite a bit over the next year because of how many services we want to offer on there.
Yeah, that's just the basic introduction of phase 1, we call it, but look for more stuff, and that's exciting. But yeah, that's where you can send people for donate. If people want to donate, I've reached out to I've kind of in the works with TikTok. They don't have a chronic pain nonprofit, and they've got a certain thing that you got to do to or even be considered. But that's a goal of ours as well, is to
absolutely we'll be pushing.
We want to be
for that.
If we can be the first, it's one thing, and we give credit for American Cancer Society, American Heart Association, things like that, but there isn't one that represents chronic pain on TikTok, and so I'm going to be trying to pursue that.
Or just so many. I would include mental conditions as well. Is still, they're doing better, but it's still I think especially with suicide, and we've seen a lot of I've seen a lot of people cry out for help and come close to that, and a lot of people think that is just it's no different than any other life-threatening condition. So we're pushing to change people's minds, and I don't care how uncomfortable it is for them. We won't stop pushing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us tonight, you guys. We're gonna.
And if I have anything to do with it, this will be the last time you see this backdrop, and that I sit on these chairs.
She has been wanting to kind of mix things up, so when we get, if and when we get something that's even better, then yeah, that'll be fun. But I don't mind it too much.
It's called My Office is Better. But I hate the chairs we sit on. They're like the bar stools that have no back support, and your butt is numb by 20 minutes in. And,
yeah,
I could spend so much more time with you guys if I was actually comfortable.
Yeah. We'll work on it.
Yeah, can you do that? Is there some, can we do that in
let
an hour?
Let me just build another extension off our home. Let me convert the garage into.
I'm really not that spoiled, but I'm like, I don't expect it, but I'm spoiled.
I'm not really that spoiled. I know. I'm that spoiled.
I meant it in both ways.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Antonio, recliner. Get a recliner. Mm-hmm. Okay.
He spoils me, but I don't expect it.
In puff pink.
He's very
puff pink. Now we're talking.
Yeah, I am so particular with how I want the website and everything to look, and nothing against purple, which is the chronic pain color, and but I'm like, why can't anybody ever just thought of
and even our link tree, like our link tree photo,
puffiest pink, like,
I mean, it used to be, I don't know if you guys remember where there used to be like this purple background, and now it's a picture of us, and so there's anyway.
So I've gotten rid of purple. Yeah.
See you. Good to see you too, Yanni.
Yeah, you guys are.
And I appreciate. So amazing. Continue. Go and check out some of the videos that we've got. If you've joined us a little bit later, but yeah, you got some kitties to put to bed and things. And what a great mom she is. If you guys again aren't following our friends here, and just as you get to know each other here, be sure to to follow Gianni Oliveira and Antonio Voices.
Yes.
These are amazing instrumental kindred souls that you guys will be blessed with.
Andy, so I'm just looking at all of you.
Andy's journey. Yeah,
everyone
we're
is
talking
so deserving.
Golden.
And the star for tonight goes to Antonio for the suggestion of a recliner. Hello.
Okay, winner.
Like,
you mean you might just see that happen.
Hello, they want to party with me. In order to do that, I need a recliner.
Okay.
You know, and I could be like, I could turn on the massage thing, and I could be like, can you guys feel that?
I'll have to,
you know, like try to convince you that you're being massaged as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, see? Massage chair.
Hey, it's close. We've at least got medically graded beds in her room that do massaging. So it actually, you know, can go up and down, and that helps with
spoiled. We had it one like where it was just one bed, and then I have to sit up often, and
that's split. It's like a split.
Luckily, his parents wanted. It just worked out perfectly that both of them were pretty brand new beds, and exactly the same. Only theirs was split, so you each had your own controls, and it has USBs on the back, USB ports and lights under the bed. But they just wanted their mattress to be one, and we needed it to be separate because, and we talked about this several times. Rex has his own room.
We have a side guest / room office that I have that if I'm in trouble, I'll go to.
Need to watch my girly shows. What do you want?
Because we're empty nesters too. We got to convert it into something. That's my office. We can't let the kids think that we're still. Yeah, it's a yeah. That's a better way to call it. There's second star Antonio for the day. He says it's a doghouse. Call it what it is. It's where I work and make the money and slave away, and it's my doghouse when I'm in trouble. Ding ding, truth. Okay, right?
It's a pretty nice doghouse. He's got some pretty nice artwork, and
Well, these people know what they probably got their own doghouse. It's probably might be in the closet, but
But the real reason why is because the couch. I keep the temperature between the highest in my room is 55. I will it will be between 45 or 55, and then I need noise so that because I try to I need something to disrupt otherwise it actually makes the pain worse to lay in the dark and feel it. You're in it more. So and I know you guys, even if it's mental pain, I know that a lot of you understand that. So there's a couple reasons, and he really likes warmth and dark, and so and quiet. That really.
But I also sleep in there with you a lot.
But he often, and especially lately, when he, when I need him near, and don't worry, he's still the love of my life. I'm in love with him. Don't ever be afraid to this idea that if someone, people in their own rooms, if anything, it spices it up. If you ever get a spare room, try it. See. Tell us how you like it. Yeah.
All right. I think it's time for Taco Bell.
It is.
Join us for our interview. We'll do an announcement post here in a bit, but we've got an interview for next Thursday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. So join us for that. And then if you're never able to join us on the recordings, then be sure to subscribe to our YouTube and watch the videos there. So the whole things are posted there. So
shove people our way. Yes, Taco Bell.
Yo creo Taco Bell.
Antonio, one thing that I love, I just gotta let him know real quick. One thing that I love, because he's talking about the background noise. I love watching. Well, there's two things. I adore history. If I could be a historian, I would. And then the other thing is I would love to have been a prosecutor. And so I love watching trials, and I love watching anything documentary history wise, anything around the world, anything I can soak up and learn. Those are my two favorites. But if those interest you at all, I've got
recommendations.
Yes, I do. And even Rex has learned to really love.
I have.
Especially these history, or my documentaries on history and stuff. He's really learned to love.
Yeah, I have. I've gotten our tastes have kind of, my tastes have kind of changed as I spend more time in her world, and you see things a little bit more of interest than maybe before.
A historian or a prosecutor? Which do you think I'd be better at?
Both.
Heck yeah.
A historical prosecutor.
And I wanted to be a nurse. And I'm just going to leave you guys with this so you can just ponder what kind of a person I was from early on. I was convinced that I needed 5 husbands. My brother says I told him more. He's like, oh no, you didn't stop at 5. And he was my older brother. He just laughed his ass off at me. And he was like, oh no, you went on and on as we played checkers. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I just needed 5. But I was...
That explains my life. The end. Mic drop.
So one was going to be a carpenter, one a doctor, one a lawyer. Because I was like, a couple of them have to make good money. And a couple of them have to be like, you got to be really good with your hands. Like my dad, he was just brilliant with building and farming, and just, well, he could do anything. But, I really thought that through. And I was like, what are you laughing for? And he thought it was the best entertainment ever. Yeah.
And that never left. Yeah, that's what she... And, I mean, just think of my life, just the visual.
I know. My brother still is like, Rex, you're doing real good.
Yeah, if you think that just kind of was outgrown.
Yeah. He's like, just what?
This is just one of many
just
hats.
Flipped, And I'm like, no, nothing to do with polygamy. I just, I saw uses for it, and it,
Oh, that's too funny. Yeah, Rex, can you use that? Rex, can you use that?
Yeah. See, Antonio?
No,
that's part
we're not sharing. We were not.
No, that's part of we need you. We need your help.
Oh, in terms of
your help, man.
Yeah.
He does pretty damn good for being one guy. But I expected the same myself. I wanted so many things. Nurse Nell was a dream for a few years.
Yeah.
Not just because I loved and cared for people, but hello.
Yeah.
Nurse Nell.
Yeah.
Not Nellie. I was called Nellie Olson plenty. Thank you. Bye. But yeah, I had a lot of expectations for myself as well. So just me and the guys, that was my dream. Rex is the best. So are you. You and your wife are amazing.
You guys are awesome.
I love you guys. I needed this.
Yeah, thanks for joining, you guys. And
Rex, I still can't get over Rex. Can you some help?
Can you what?
Like the Rex, can you some help comment?
Oh yeah.
Oh, what does this one say?
Name.
Yeah, Noelle. There was a Noelle just slightly younger than me growing up, just a few houses down the street.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so jealous because her name was in a Christmas hymn. Noelle, no, and I'm privately I was like, no.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. You'll have to process that.
I know. I was just, yeah. If I just opened up my mind,
all sorts of special.
I'll save it for each live we do. This is why I want to do these lives just with you
Yeah.
guys because we get just full of crap. But I was secretly, nah. How, like, I didn't, now that I think about it, that's horrible. But I was like, why does Noelle get all the crap? Get all the love, you know? But Noelle, yeah, it's a beautiful name. She is actually such a lovely girl. And they had the biggest house on our street. And maybe that was part of the reason. I'm like, they have the biggest house. Why has she got to be in the song too? Share. But no. Well, I'm glad you can laugh about it.
I'll share it with you, Nell. She says.
Thank
Noelle
you.
for one chorus.
Thank you.
And Nell for the other chorus.
Man,
That's
that is
idea.
generous.
That's pretty creative.
Okay, can you start thinking that way?
And then we just slide in. No.
Yeah, no. I know. I get that it's not as it doesn't roll off the tongue as easily. It's like the songs that say Sarah or
you
Christine.
can make it sound.
Just because mine's one syllable,
like no,
shouldn't mean that I am outed.
You could say no. That sounds pretty good.
You can even have the first chorus.
You can even have first chorus. Take the lead.
First and last? You know.
Oh, she's pushing it. Not
just
the first.
Wait,
you want the first and last. I don't even know how many verses are part of the song. You might just said you wanted the whole song. There might only been 2 verses.
Who knows? Who knows? I don't know.
We'll have to look that up.
I haven't sung that for a minute. Oh, shoot.
Oh, I guess there is a middle. Maybe she knows more than me, and it's not just
oh, so she gets this little one middle?
It might be just one verse. Yeah.
I'm dead. We gotta stop.
Anyway.
Now I'm gonna really go take meds. You guys are hilarious.
Thanks, you guys. We love you so much.
Love you guys so much.
Go and do good for each other and serve each other. Katie, I'm sorry you just joined us at the tail end here. We're actually interviewing Katie here soon.
We can't wait, Katie.
Katie, we're actually just saying goodbye, so I don't want to be rude in any way. We're looking forward to talking with you. But if you wanted to watch the shenanigans of this evening, if you're just joining us as we're wrapping up here, go and watch the video. It'll be uploaded to YouTube in a bit.
You can see that they don't stop. They make it hard to walk away.
Yeah. And be sure to join us next week, 6 o'clock Mountain Time, Standard Time. And if you're curious on who it's going to be, watch for the announcement post. I'll probably get that out in a couple of days.
I love that he just keeps going.
Yeah.
He's one of the news anchor that keeps his crap together. And then there's
it's just the credits.
Just falls off the screen.
So as we're signing off, enjoy the credits.
Oh, shoot. I love you guys.
And the shenanigans.
Oh, man.
And, you got it.
All right.
Thanks,
I love
you guys
so much.
Have a good night.
Take care of yourselves, and you'll be in our prayers.
Okay, bye.
Bye.